Altitude. The height of an object or point in relation to sea level or ground level. I'll walk to a higher altitude so I can see everything around me, thought Bob. Coastline. The line where the land meets the sea. Even though his shoulder injury impaired his ability to carry the materials, he slowly dragged them down the mountain until he reached the coastline. Deter. To discourage someone from doing something by instilling doubt or fear of the consequences. It prevented the pain from deterring me from my plan. Devise. To invent a plan, system, object, etc., usually cleverly or imaginatively. He had to tolerate all the pain and devise a plan. Expertise. A high level of knowledge or skill. He used his building expertise to line up the limbs and tie them together with long vines. Fracture. A break or crack in something hard, especially a bone. He had a terrible migraine and he had a fracture in his shoulder. Impair. To spoil something or make it weaker so that it is less effective. Even though his shoulder injury impaired his ability to carry the materials, he slowly dragged them down the mountain until he reached the coastline. Implement. To put a plan or system into operation. At last, Bob was ready to implement his escape plan. Indigenous. Naturally existing in a place or country rather than arriving from another place. As he walked along a mountain ridge, he noticed that the tall indigenous trees looked sturdy and thick. Insight. A clear, deep, and sometimes sudden understanding of a complicated problem or situation. Maybe I'll gain some insight about this island and find something to help me escape. Limb. An arm or leg of a person or animal. A large branch of a tree. He cut down some leaves and tree limbs. Migraine. A severe continuous pain in the head, often with sickness and difficulty in seeing. He had a terrible migraine, and he had a fracture in his shoulder. Optimism. The quality of being full of hope and emphasizing the good parts of a situation or a belief that something good will happen. Optimism and ambition make anything possible. Peculiar. Unusual and strange, sometimes in an unpleasant way. Where am I? Bob thought to himself when he woke up on a peculiar beach. Proficient. Skilled and experienced. Bob was a proficient builder. Quest. A long search for something that is difficult to find. He climbed on and began the quest to find his way home. Ridge. A long, narrow, raised part of a surface, especially a high edge along a mountain. As he walked along a mountain ridge, he noticed that the tall indigenous trees looked sturdy and thick. Spouse. A person's husband or wife. But he had a strong desire to make it home to his spouse and children. Thrust. To push suddenly and strongly. With all his might, he thrust the raft into the water. Tolerate. to accept behavior and beliefs that are different from your own, although you might not agree or approve of them. He had to tolerate all the pain and devise a plan,